Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful start to your day. Today, we're going to answer one of our fellow crafters' questions. I received a comment stating that they wanted to see a little bit more of color pencils with Gamsol, and that's what I'm trying to do today. It's actually really early, so I'm trying to get it out before I forget. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the two color pencils that I have. I have Prismacolor and I have Arteza, and we're gonna use it with two different inks. We're gonna use the Spectrum Noir Alcohol Proof, and we're gonna use the VersaFine that is used with a lot of the watercoloring. And I'm just doing that because I know when I first started with color pencils and even alcohol markers, I wanted to try everything. Why can't I use it with this ink? Does it really move it? Does it move it in a way that is noticeable? And I figured I'd give the same thing to you guys without you guys having to waste product or time. Even there's not a lot of stuff that you're wasting here, but time is precious. So here we go. We're going to use our test on this side and with the waterproof ink, and we're going to use Prisma on this side with the alcohol proof ink. The colors are similar, not exactly the same, but close enough. And what we're going to do is that we're going to do one part with two colored pencils, just to, for instance, the two greens is just to have a light tone in the center and have some shadowing. And then we're going to try it with just the darker color and see if we can push the color in to create a highlight, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Arteza. Now on this part I'm going to add the two tones. I'm gonna put the dark green on the outside, the lighter green on the inside. And you know what? I'm gonna scribble this side like this, and then the other side I'm just gonna have at it, right? I'm not gonna really care too much about the lines because this is not about perfecting it. It's just about showing how to blend this thing out. We're gonna use the Gamsol, and this is a toxic chemical, so use it in a well ventilated space and cover it when it's not in use. So you dip your stump, which is this, and then you cover it up so you keep it safe. And we want to be healthy. So all right, so we did that, and let's scribble some more here. And now we're gonna come with the lighter one and just do the circular motion on this side, and let's scribble it on that side, because some people they're not very interested in coloring, and they just want something that looks good and it's fast, and that's it. Okay, so let's talk more coloring. All right, let's open this up, and I'm just gonna dip my stump in for a little bit, let it get saturated, and then we can start. Okay, so I'm gonna start by moving the darker color, and the Gamsol really breaks up the wax, and that's how it starts to move, and it takes away all the lines of the scribbles that you just put in. And now we're going to do it to the really careless side and see if we can get the same look. And as you can see, it's moving that color. So move your dark color, push it into your light, and then push your light to the center. And that should give you a pretty good image that has light tones and dark tones. So that's what we have there. And now we're gonna go to the other side. Now, as you can see, right now there's not much movement of the ink that we use. But I think on the top, let's put it on the other side. Let me find another stump. I'll be right back. The toughest part of a move is knowing that you have certain things and not being able to find them ever when you need them. So I'm just gonna dip the other side of this stump, and it has red in it, but I'll try to use this edge just to see if this ink moves. So we're gonna rub it on the alcohol proof ink and let that dry, and then we're gonna do the same thing to the VersaFine. Now, the VersaFine moved a little bit more than the alcohol proof. But in reality, guys, you're not going to be sitting there rubbing on top of the black ink. I mean, I think I would use either or. So, that's that. We'll let that dry up a little more and see how it changes. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side with the Prisma, just so you can also see the difference in two different colored pencils. I want to get the Spectrum Noir ones, and I also want to save up money and get the more expensive brands, which it's there. I can't forget the name. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just scribble this on just like we did to the other side. And we're going to come back and be like, oh, okay, let's just put color. Not being careful. Just adding it. Let's add some more dark. And we're going to blend it. The beauty of using this technique is that you don't have to be perfect in any way to get a good result. So just blend that out. And let's start on this side. And look how it just softens up that wax and lets you move it. Of course, you would pay attention to the little teeth and all that. That's not what this video is about. So, both look good. Now, let's try doing it. Let's put some color on his lower half and just use one color. And again, we're going to scribble one side and then do the circular motion on the other side. And let's see if we can create a highlight in the center just using one color. Okay, we're going to start softening where we put the most pigment. And then we're going to push it to the center where we want, excuse me, the highlight. Totally doable. Let's try the Arteza, see if how that behaves. Again, scribble. And then being a little more careful on this side. Let's wet our stump, always covering it so we don't breathe that stuff in too much. And we're going to start by softening up the darker color and pushing it to the center again. So if you only have, let's say, a 12 pack of colored pencils and you only have one green, you can totally still do it. The beauty of this is the way it breaks up that pigment and softens it, so it doesn't look a mess anymore, right? It just makes it look like a marker almost. And that's what we have. Now, how does it behave with the red? Okay, and as you can see now, these things have dried, and it really didn't move anything. You just have the stain of the Gamsol there because I put more on that side, and it hasn't totally evaporated yet. But I think you can use it with both. It doesn't matter. my opinion is what I'm seeing here. So if you only have one type of ink, if it moved it a little bit, um, unless you go really outside your lines, you're not going to be able to tell. And I would just ink it and let it sit for a little while, so the the alcohol and stuff on the VersaFine evaporates, and for this one to dry, and it should be fine. So you have a water base, which the water would have to evaporate, and the alcohol ink, and that would have to evaporate the alcohol. I hope I'm like touching all the bases of this. Okay, so we have again the Arteza on this side and the Prisma on the other. Now let's flip this little thingy over. We just wet the tip of our stump. I would clean my work surface after this, really wash my hands. And that's that. So if you have one color, it's just how much ink do you put down? I mean, how much color do you put down, and where you're going to draw your highlight to. See, on this one, I put too much down, so it just blended it all the same color. But on this one, the little tippy of the toe has a little bit of a highlight. So it's just playing with your pencils and stuff, and really becoming comfortable with using them. You really don't have to worry too much about this. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves. It's just getting in there, trying it, and if you goof, it's paper. Stamp it again, and try again. But I mean, you scribble it, and you still get a good result. So I think that's great. I mean, so if you're wanting to color and you're intimidated by the alcohol markers, the color pencils is a really good way to go. And if you're interested in the watercolor pencils, let me know and I'll make a video on that one too. Anyway, guys, that's my video for today. I hope this answered any questions. If there's still questions, just leave a comment and I'll get back to it. Okay. Have a wonderful one, guys. Bye.